World Wide Web, on your mobile devices, on social media platforms. This is Jambo Radio! www.jamboradio.co.uk. We are multilingual. We are conversational in the languages you best understand. We are Jambo Radio! Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation.
This is the BB African Magazine Show on Jambo Radio.
Je me livre, mais t'as choisi de me laisser. Une page se tourne dans mon livre, et mi amour m'a blessé. Je t'aimais à mourir, mais j'ai fini mal aimé. Sans toi j'ai du mal à vivre. Dis-moi qui a eu tort, qui s'endort plein de remords. Nana Lina Yomingi, je t'aime jusqu'à la mort. Oh, oh, oh. Zongelanga, mon bébé. Zonga. J'ai tout donné, mais toi t'as tout gâché. Je donnerai même ma vie pour te voir, mon bébé. Rends-moi la vie moins dure et reviens, mon bébé. Reviens. Pour toi j'ai tout donné, mais toi t'as tout gâché. Je donnerai même ma vie pour te voir, mon bébé. Rends-moi la vie moins dure et reviens, mon bébé. Reviens. De toi c'est l'enfer, loin de toi je souffre. Salamango zonga wana zoa. Pour moi ça restera toujours nous deux. Comment je peux laisser ça se briser? On recommence à zéro, recommence à zéro. Amour d'un éveil, oh maman. Pour toi j'ai tout donné, mais toi t'as tout gâché. Je donnerai même ma vie pour te voir, mon bébé. Rends-moi la vie moins dure et reviens, mon bébé. Reviens. Pour toi j'ai tout donné, mais toi t'as tout gâché. Je donnerai même ma vie pour te voir, mon bébé. Rends-moi la vie moins dure et reviens, mon bébé. Reviens.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to BB's African News Magazine show on Jambo Radio, the show that focuses on all things positive coming from the Scottish African diaspora and the African continent at large. We're going to try to stay positive. We're all ready for you today. It's Monday, the 24th of March, 2025. I think spring has officially sprung. Allegedly, we're in Glasgow, so anything can happen. But, it's getting warmer, the sun is shining, and we're ready to go. We have an amazing show planned for you today. I'm here, Baron's here. Baron, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's here. And we have Kimmy's here as well. And we have a wonderful show planned for you today. Remember, if you want to join at any point, you want to send a comment, give your opinion, disagree with us, whatever, all you have to do is use the three magic words, Jambo, Radio, and Scotland, and you'll find us on all your social media platforms. If you want to leave a comment, you can go on our YouTube Live or Facebook Live and leave your comment there. We'll read it live on air. But if you want to join the conversation live with us, of course, all you have to do is call the number 0141 530 2787. Once again, that's 0141 530 2787, and you'll be connected live into the studio here. Okay, let's begin today's first news story. Baron, did you hear about what's going on in Kogi State concerning Senator Natasha?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I know you're always up to date. We're going to talk about it, but let's read it first, and then we're going to talk about it. This is absolutely interesting. So there's been a recall, allegedly, a fake recall, a real recall in Kogi State. So let's read about it. So a fresh wave of political manipulation has hit Kogi State, that's in Nigeria. Politicians loyal to former Governor Yaya Bello were allegedly being caught deceiving residents with a sham empowerment program to extract their signatures and voter details for the ongoing recall process against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Adwohan. Multiple videos have confirmed that unsuspecting residents were lured with the promise of financial aid and support, only to be tricked into unknowingly endorsing the recall campaign against the embattled senator. In one of the videos, a resident can be heard exposing the fraudulent scheme, saying, "We're not here for the recall process of Natasha. We're here for an empowerment, and we're given instructions to come with our voter cards. They told us to come here for empowerment with our voter cards." I call the recall a mess. Nobody was aware of it. These people deceived them with the promise of empowerment. It's only when we arrived that many of us realized that this was not normal. People started leaving. I see it as a fraud, and they're doing something that the people do not support. I myself do not support it, and the majority of people in this local government are against it. Okay, so the people accuse they accuse people loyal to Yaya Bello were allegedly behind the deception. It's been reported the deception is part of a larger plot orchestrated by Yaya Bello and Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Baron's man, to remove Senator Natasha Akpoti-Adwohan from office forcefully. I'm laughing because it's a ridiculous situation. That Bello, with Akpabio's backing, had launched a recall process against Natasha just weeks after her controversial suspension from the Senate. Credible sources revealed that Akpabio and Bello struck a $2 million deal to finance the recall effort. Insiders say part of their strategy involves manipulating INEC records by forging voter signatures and coercing the commission into validating fraudulent documents. Despite these attempts, though, residents of Kogi Central are resisting. Many have refused to sign the recall documents, exposing the fraud behind the process. We're saying we don't want to recall Natasha because she's been delivering for us since she joined the Senate, one of her constituents said. And following the incident, the Federal High Court in Lokoja has now granted an interim injunction restraining the INEC, which is the Independent National Electoral Commission, from receiving, accepting, or acting on any petition containing allegedly fictitious signatures from members of Kogi Central seeking to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Adwohan. Okay. So, fantastic situation, isn't it? Yeah. One woman, all this just because they don't want to investigate her allegations. That's not it, though. It's because they don't want all the motions been put into the floor to come to fruition, and she's had the audacity to actually accuse him of sexual harassment, and now they're trying to recall her in a sham way. They think they're very clever. What do you think, Baron?
It's the same old trick. You can always predict it. So I
mean, Yaya Bello, when he was governor, the level, allegedly, this is alleged, okay, to protect ourselves, but the level of fraud he was involved in, the level of theft he was involved in, he should be in jail right now, should he not? Rather, the fact that he's free out there in the world, you know, is one thing, but to try to do something like this, and then apparently Akpabio is trying to put him forward as, when they recall Natasha, when they recall her, he's trying to put him forward as the senator for Kogi State. Kogi Central, sorry, to the Senate. Can you? I mean, you can't make it up, right? Or maybe you can.
With Nigeria, anything is possible. Not surprised. I mean, you could remove an elected government.
I didn't want to touch that one. I focused on this story because I think at the end of the day it's positive. The fact that they tried to fool her people. So they told them to come out and they were going to give them money, empowerment to start businesses or start their lives or whatever empowerment means to these people. Yeah. But come with your NIN card and come with your voter's card, which is weird, which is strange. Yeah. Why not come with your ID? Well, come with your NIN and your voter's card. So they get there and they don't know what they're signing. They start to sign, and after a while, the media starts to report and say, "Oh, the recall process has begun. Kogi Central people have no faith in Natasha, and they're going to recall her." And the people are like, "What are we hearing?" And her people. One thing about Natasha, Senator Natasha, is her people love her. Yeah. Her people. They've seen. She's done roads. She's done empowerment programs. She's done educational grants. She's done light. Electricity. She's done so much, and so they truly love her, and they see the way she's fighting for them at the Senate as well as fighting for her own self, you know, so they really respect her, right? And then so they were not to be fooled. They were fooled for a little while because maybe some people are ignorant or some people are like uneducated or unaware, you know, and then once the news broke out, they were like, nope, we don't want to do this, and they started protesting. Did you see the protest? The women went through the town calling them thief and all that. Do you remember when Senator, I don't know if you know this, when Senator Natasha was running for election to be elected as a senator, on the day of the election, the week before, Yaya Bello dug up all the roads from her people's to the polls, so they couldn't make it to the polls. He tried everything in his power because he knew how popular she was to stop her from getting elected. She's been fighting battles. She's been fighting battles for years, all because she wants to give her people a voice.
Yeah, it's true. And again, it's in the same Kogi state that a lawmaker distributed motorcycle tires as
tires.
Yeah, one.
I didn't heard that one.
You know,
one tire,
like wrap it in the in the blue,
in the silver thing.
Yeah, and then just one tire.
For what? Okay, in case you're an Okada guy, you can change one tire.
Is empowerment, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I think I was talking about this with my mother. My mother says she has Russian blood in her. She's going to win. That you shouldn't underestimate her because she has Russian blood in her. That she's not going to back down.
Yeah.
So that whole Kogi thing plus her Russian blood. Who knows? She's going to come out of this at the end of it.
Yeah, it's also good to see that she's not just sitting down waiting for anyone to speak.
She was talking with the BBC this weekend, talking sure that UN. She's opening now that she's opening up completely. Yeah. Because you can only do this so far. Oh, I keep saying the same thing. Women, start being serious about this politics thing. The fact that Nigeria, as popular as we are, we have only 4 female senators, and only 16 House of Reps. Out of 300 and out of 100 odd senators, only 4 are women. It's unbelievable. So we need to step it up. It's not a population thing. We have the populace for it. We have the education for it. Don't let these men talk you down. And there's so many powerful women who are empowering themselves in Nigeria who can do this. I know it's a difficult thing to do. I wish I lived in Nigeria. I'll probably run. Honestly, if I lived in Nigeria, I would run. Just out of spite. Oh my goodness. We send this. I'm saying this as a positive thing because her people stood up for her, and if they do recall her fraudulently, there's going to be a problem. I think there's going to be a problem. I think they've squashed it. They're going to continue to court May 6th because INEC, there's been an injunction to stop INEC from ratifying anything. Yeah. So they're going to go to court on May 6th. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think she's going to be recalled. I think our people are and now that they're aware that they're trying to do this, their eyes will be much wider open now. Yeah. All right, Baron. So all the music is in your hands today. So we're going to leave it with you. What are we listening to next?
Next, Magic System.
Let me guess. Gau, Premier Gau.
No. No. Amulanga.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Enjoy, people. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Okay, we're back. That was Amalange by Amulanga by Magic System. Now we have amazing news coming from Southern Africa. Did you hear about this one, Baron? Namibia has sworn in their first female president.
Yeah.
We did this. We did this story when she was elected, and now they've done her swearing in. So let's hear about it. So Netumbo Nandi, are you get ready with the drum roll, please, or the cheer? Netumbo Nandi Ndaitawa was sworn in as Namibia's first female president last Friday, reaching the highest office in her country nearly 60 years after she joined the liberation movement fighting for independence from apartheid South Africa. That was a long one. The 72-year-old Nandi Ndaitwa won an election in November to become just a handful of female leaders in Africa after the likes of Ellen Johnson of Sirleaf of Liberia, Joyce Banda of Malawi, and Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania. Sirleaf and Banda, now former leaders of their countries, and current Tanzanian President Hassan all attended Nandi Ndaitwa's inauguration. The new president made her pledge to defend, uphold, and support the constitution in front of other visiting leaders from South Africa, Zambia, Congo, Botswana, Angola, and Kenya, among others. And Nandi Ndaitwa succeeds Nangolo Mbumba, who stood in as Namibia's president since February 2024 following the death of the in office of President Hage Geingob. And Nandi Ndaitwa is just the 5th president of Namibia. That's incredible. A sparsely populated nation in southwestern Africa, which was a German colony until the end of World War I, and then won independence from South Africa in 1990. After decades of struggle and a guerrilla war against South African forces that lasted more than 20 years. As we previously reported on the show, Nandi Ndaitwa is a veteran of the Southwest African People's Organization, SWAPO, which led Namibia's fight for independence and has been ruling party ever since. She joined SWAPO as a teenager in the 1960s and spent time in exile in Zambia, Tanzania, the former Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom in the 70s and 80s. She had been a lawmaker in Namibia since 1990 and was foreign minister before being appointed to vice president. Wow. She said she'll insist on good governance and high ethical standards in public institutions and will promote closer regional cooperation. She pledged to continue calling for the rights of Palestinians and the people of Western Sahara to self-determination and demanded the lifting of sanctions against Cuba, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe. She also said Namibia will continue to contribute to efforts to fight climate change, a persistent threat for an arid country of just 3 million people that regularly experiences drought. Nadine Datwa's husband is a retired general who once commanded Namibia's armed forces and was formally given the title First Gentleman. Namibian Datwa's inauguration came a day after Namibia's parliament elected its first female speaker. Go Namibia! Can I have another drum roll, please, Baron? Thank you. Wow, this... fantastic. There's so many levels to this. Number one, first female president. Number two, just the fifth president of Namibia. Number three, she's in her 70s. Number four, she was foreign minister and then VP before becoming president. Number five, her husband used to command, just casually, he used to be a general who commanded the armed forces in their country. Can you imagine those kind of achievements coming from one family? Is that not incredible?
Oh, yes, it is.
They almost seem like they're Nigerian. I'm joking, everybody, please, I'm joking. What do you think about the fact that, Namibia is leading the way in this way?
Yeah, it's good news from Africa. While there's negative on one side, it's positive on the other side. So.
And they've elected their first female speaker, so they've never had a female speaker of the House before. That's brilliant, and that's a very powerful position as well. Yeah. So Namibia, congratulations. We wish her the best. I like how she's laid out all the things she wants to do: fight climate change, support Palestine, support Cuba, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe from having sanctions, support good governance, and promote regional cooperation. So Namibia, Mozambique, all of them in that axis working together, which is a fantastic thing. Yeah, Namibia, go Namibia, and it's a beautiful country on top of it. We've done the travel there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Beautiful country as well. Fabulous. Okay, moving on. Baron, what song do you have for us? There are no M's. There are no M's in DJ land.
I think we'll go with Ashake this time.
Oh, Ashake, okay. Yeah. So here is Ashake with Baron's Choice. I will see you in 2 minutes.
Olalaje mi Ashake.
23, 24, she be a tell them before me, then stop to the 24. She like, yeah, go, you don't be I got the ball. Tell me what to do, I can't do. Me, I no skip that do. Tell me what to do, I no fian to. Jam bad with my bad move, boy, I got to can do. Them small check I can do. Walking poetry, I am great time. Walk over to Glasgow. Now Glasgow, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama. Walking poetry, I am great time. Walk over to Glasgow. Now Glasgow, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama. Them chapo, Ebenezer obey the commander. Capon the duty. I'm on one, what did you ginger? I'm guilty, that's my swag, the queue. I don't go up you, no it's hard to swallow the pew. Then I gym, that I him, though I kill. Shout out to my space, my man, she be my queen. Oh go, I love mogo, I do go, don't go. I'm a call, no the Oloko, Omoko, Oniroko, Emilomo, Tompi, Yoko, yeah. All I saw me, pity too party, I too bad. You could feel I'm like all those two drag. I know the booker, never lose, God, can't catch the way we did do right. Study me, I'm not no Jambo. I get many pages like songs from Solomon. All I know, be my could be wild, like, to release, I don't know. 23, 24, she be a tell them before me, let's talk to the 24. She like, yeah, go, you don't be. I got the ball. Tell me what to do, I can't do. Me, I no skip that do. Tell me what to do, I no fian do. Jam bad with my bad do. Boy, I got to can do. Them small check I can do. Walking poetry, I am great time. Walk over to Glasgow. Now Glasgow, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama. Walking poetry, I am great time. Walk over to Glasgow. Now Glasgow, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama.
All right, so we're back to People's African Music Magazine on Jambo Radio, and now we have the amazing Kimmy, and she's going to give us a news update, and we'll see you in 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Latest news across Scotland. This is Jambo Radio. A third teenager has been arrested for their connection with the murder of Aman Tekle. Nearly 3 weeks ago, Aman Tekle was 15 years old when he was found seriously injured on Clarendon Street in Maryhill. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and since then, a 16-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy have been arrested and charged with the murder and assault. Police Scotland have now taken into custody another 15-year-old teenage boy to face assault charges. In Scotland, Cowcaddon Road is forced to close after the discovery of a sinkhole. The road was already reduced into 2 lanes because of ongoing work. Until the road workers found the sinkhole, which led to a full closure of the road, Scottish Water has been helping out on the scene by inducing emergency repairs and encouraging everyone to use public transport or find an alternative route. Now for the latest African news. Last Friday, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah had her inauguration as Namibia's first female president and vows to tackle unemployment, inequality and poverty. She is also the second ever directly elected female president in Africa, and she speaks about how heavy that burden is to hold. If things go well, then it will be seen as a good example, but if anything happens, like it can happen in any administration under men, there is also those who would say, look at women. Nandi-Ndaitwah is hopeful that she can be judged by her good actions across the country and states that it is a good thing as countries are realizing that just as men can do, women can also hold a position of authority. And that's the latest from Jambo's newsroom. I am Kimi Kingori.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kimi. Going back to BB's African News Package on Jambo Radio. So our next story is specifically chosen for Byron. Do you know that, Ben? Did you hear about your friends at the research center in Antarctica?
No.
Oh, you're going to love this. Oh, you're going to love this. All right. So South African research team member accused of assault in Antarctic base. Did you hear about that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
All right. So a group of scientists due to work together for months at a remote Antarctic research station had been rocked after a member of the team was accused of physical assault. A team of 9 researchers were due to spend the Antarctic winter at the South African-run base, which sits about 170 kilometers from the edge of the ice shelf and is difficult to reach. But a spokesperson for the South African government reported that there was an assault at the station following earlier allegations of inappropriate behavior from inside the camp. The South African Environment Ministry said it was responding to the concerns with the utmost urgency. South Africa's Sunday Times, which is the first to report the story, said the members of the team had pleaded to be rescued. The ministry said that those in the team had been subject to a number of evacuations that include background checks, medical assessments, reference checks, as well as psychometric evaluation by qualified professionals, which all members had cleared. Okay. In a subsequent statement, the ministry added that it was not uncommon for individuals to have initial adjustment when they arrive at an extremely remote area, even if assessments showed no areas of concerns before. It said that when the vessel departed for Antarctica on the 1st of February, all was in order, and the incident was first reported to the ministry on the 27th of February. The statement added that the department immediately activated the response plan in order to mediate and restore relations at the base. The department said allegations of sexual harassment were also being investigated, but the reports of sexual assault were inaccurate. The department added that a government minister was personally handling the incident, and the alleged perpetrator had willingly participated in further psychological evaluation, had shown remorse, and is willingly cooperative to follow any interventions that are recommended. The alleged perpetrator has also written a formal apology to the victim. The Sane 4 research base, which is located more than 4,000 kilometers from mainland South Africa, and harsh weather conditions mean scientists can be cut off there for much of the year. The base typically houses staff who stay through the Antarctic winter for approximately 13 months. South Africa research expeditions have been taking place there since 1959, and these expeditions, which with harsh weather conditions mandating a lot of time spent in a confined indoor space, normally run without incident. A South African government spokesperson said the alleged assault was triggered by a dispute over a task the team leader wanted the team to do, a weather-dependent task that required a schedule change. Psychologists point to the effect that isolation can have on human behavior. One thing we know from these rare occurrences when something bad happens is in enforced isolation or capsule working is that often the small things, the tiny things, can blow up into a conflict. And that's from Craig Johnson, a professor of workplace health psychology at Birmingham University. Now South African authorities have since constantly intervened remotely, and the accused crew member is being cooperative. Okay, so when this news broke last week, I think people were quite shocked because, first of all, people didn't know that South Africa had a research base in Antarctica to start with. When you think of Antarctica, you don't really think of South Africa. But that's, of course, as with many things, that's always about ignorance, people not realizing that, the world is bigger than we think. Secondly, it's rare to hear about people in these confined spaces, you're going to be locked in with these people for almost a year, more than a year, right? Confined, isolated, in the middle of nowhere, super cold, super away from all humanity. So if anything goes wrong in the interpersonal relations, it becomes a big thing because you're sealed in with these people, and there's nowhere to go to walk away and, or you move to another. There's nothing like that. So it's either they break the mission and bring them back home, or they really make sure, everything is going smooth, because now they say they're sending psychologists there to go help them. The people didn't feel safe at all, because if one person fights and starts to beat somebody else up, that's what assault is, then how are they going to do their mission? The reason why I was joking and said I was thinking about you, because the law of the the racists on social media were saying, here we go. Now black people have taken their trouble everywhere. Now they're taking their trouble to Antarctica. Mm-hmm. I was thinking Brian would be like, oh, there go those South Africans again. I don't know, what do you think about it? Do you think it's safe to keep them still there if this has happened? We say the perpetrator is sorry and he's written a formal apology. What do you think?
I think they have to consider before they make their decision. They will obviously consider logistics. So is it profitable for them to just bring one person back,
or bring everybody back?
So the work has to continue. People always have disagreements, but it's how they handle it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one they handle it well.
They said they check before they go. They check your psychology. They check your background if you're a criminal. They check everything, and nothing showed up in this team. They bonded together. They went. Can you show the second picture? The two pictures.
The second one is messy.
Okay, it's fine. So it was the whole team, right?
Yeah.
And then normally if you see expeditions in Antarctica and the Arctic is usually like lots of white faces. You see, European faces. But this time around, it's like a mixed bag. Quite a few black scientists there as well, black South Africans and all that. So the progress is happening, right? People are progressing up the ladder and all that and getting opportunities. But the fact that the first time there was a fight in the bases involved us, why? I mean, there have been other. Don't get me wrong. Over history, there have been other, problems in remote bases in the Arctic and the Antarctic. I think the Finnish people had a problem in the 50s, or the Russian. They've had issues, but in this South African, which is closer to home, and who is the person who is assaulting somebody else, and it's like, oh no, hope is not one of us. Oh no. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I'm hoping they don't just make it like a black thing.
Yeah.
So now,
the racists have jumped on that already. They've jumped on that.
Oh yeah. So now we give you guys an opportunity.
Yeah. They were having a field day. Yeah, but that's normal. That's normal with people who are who are racist. They will always jump to that. Okay. Anyway, I don't know where I stand on. They said they're sending extra psychological, psychologists to them, and they have therapy sessions online and all that, and they're helping them cope, and the guy is cooperating and he's really, really sorry. If it doesn't happen again, I think it should be okay. I think.
Yeah, should be okay.
I mean, the media carried it so big last. BBC guy, everybody was like, oh my god, oh no. It's so embarrassing. I don't know why I'm embarrassed. I didn't do anything, but it's just like by extension, sometimes you feel like that. Yeah. All right, go for one more song, and then we're gonna come back and talk about a mask. Yeah, a mask.
Oh yeah, so now is Mohbad and Chike.
I love. No, that's not the one I love, but I like the song. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
conversation. Chicken from any pressure. Street orientation. Modernization. From any pressure. Cover face like Nagbaja. Get feel like but we know they cut. TikTok boss them tap tap tap. Pass for the shit rababa. Omo ijo rababa. Feeling good banana. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Anyway, anyhow, you know say you go feel me. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, anyhow, you know say you go feel me.
Eguchika tokawa, wabad ni iwaba, a living like no other. Ewanya na kwachu, nyapi toba wanime. I don't need talk and you go no feeling good parana.
We're going to do one more story before we do our travel section. I'm so excited about the travel section. But before that, let's talk about this mask. Did you hear about this mask, African mask, that was sold for over £107,000 last week?
No.
Now let's talk about it. So an astonishing £107,000 has been spent at auction on an African mask. You can see it on the screen. If you're watching from, you can see it on the screen. And it was originally valued at £300. Yeah. Held for sale in Woolley and Wally's auction house in Wiltshire, it attracted a slew of bidders from around the world who raised the roof on the price. A Kwele mask hailing from Gabon, the item was just 29.5 centimeters in height, not very tall. It had previously been owned by the late interior designer Edward Bennett. Bids on the item came from the US, Belgium, and the UK, and it was eventually won by a French bidder. The mask is a powerful symbol used across Africa's many diverse cultures, as we know, particularly in West Africa. It's a form of representation depicting a spirit or god. Each mask will be specific in use and the ritual it's used in, even down to the tribe that uses it. Thus, until the modern age of tourism, masks were produced uniquely and not in mass forms, as we know. This uniqueness is why older ones are currently attracting so much value, because they're unique. In the booming popular culture of the US and Europe, the African mask has also become a symbol of mystery and intrigue, and this may also explain why so many people have been collecting them. This item and those from elsewhere around the world show the appetite people currently have for global antiquities. Okay, so my question is, congratulations to the bidder, to the buyer, £107. Congratulations to the seller, and whoever valued it at £300 in the first place. Okay, you weren't doing your job that day. But the thing is, how did the original seller and buyer and owner get it? You know, if it's so unique, how did the original owner get it? Did he buy it when he went to Africa? Did he inherit it from his people, who inherited from their people, who were, you know, traveling in the African continent and happened to, you know, collect some things along the way?
Yeah, just
what do you think?
A little souvenir somewhere.
You know, just somebody's mask.
Yeah.
That's unique to their tribe.
We're just strolling down the village.
Hey, look at that mask on the ground. Let me just, you know.
Yeah, no one is using
Nobody needs it here. Anyway, but I mean, the fact that the older masks are becoming so valuable, I think I'm going to go check my father's house in the village. Let's see if we can find something. Bring it, because we do have some amazing Calavera masks out there, you know, but we don't move them because they're in the shrine. We don't move them. So if we go to one or two shrines, nobody shouldn't report this news to my people, because if they hear about all those shrines are in danger. But yeah, I mean, would you spend £1,000 on an antique? Maybe not even a mask, on any antique?
No.
At all? Never?
No.
What do you collect, Baron? Do you collect anything, or do you like what are the things you like
I don't like
that people might not,
maybe cars, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
So like a vintage car, would you spend a lot on a vintage car, or is it modern? You like modern cars or vintage cars?
I just like cars generally, but if it's something that in the future you can resell and get profit, why not? But if you're just going to be there and then you get to show your
But there are two ways though.
I got this for £200,000. Come on.
But some people do that. Some people collect things not thinking, okay, yes, at the back of their mind the resale value is there, right? If I ever get in trouble one day and I lose everything, I can always sell this and keep myself. But they don't always buy the things originally for that reason. Some people do. Some people don't know the value of it. They just know it's expensive and they want it. Okay. Other people just love these things, obscure things, art, masks, cars, and vintage cars. You can't even ride some of these cars. You can't even ride in them. They're so tiny and so bijou.
Just for a show, yeah.
But they just love this thing so much, and they collect them 1, 2, 10, 20, because they have the money to do it. And it can also, it's like African women or Nigerian women, buying gold. Yes, you're buying the gold to wear it at parties and all that, but you're also buying it to know that in a rainy day, you can sell your gold and, organize yourself. But what do I collect anything?
Shoes?
No. That shoe bag thing, forget about it. That's not me at all. Like, when people talk about this shoe, I'm like, am I not a woman? Am I not a woman? Like, why do I not care at all about this shoe bag discussion? I don't get it. If it looks good, it's nice. I would never pay hundreds and thousands. You can gift me if you like, but I'm never going to go, oh my God, that bag. I have to have that bag. But I know people who would just see a bag and they will sell anything they have to get that bag. I do not understand it, but do I collect things? Goodwill? I collect Goodwill. If I could collect children, I would, but I can't collect them. I'm not allowed to collect children. I have to give them back at the end of the day. Do I collect anything? I'll come back to you on that one. Would I collect anything? Pajamas. Yeah, pajamas. I have a soft spot for pajamas, but they're not antiques or valuable items. All right, but that's wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. I hope it came to be in the owner's hands through the proper channels, but I mean, based on history, probably not. Okay. If you have an opinion on anything we've talked about so far, do not hesitate to call us. Do not hesitate to ring us. Do not hesitate to pick up the phone and call 0141-530-2787, or just type in a comment on the YouTube Live or the Facebook Live and we'll read it out live. Okay. We're going to have one more song and then we'll come back and do our travel segment. See you soon.
Come on, baby. Say more daddy sugar. Lovely, lovely, baby. We did it, say more with her. Come on, baby. Say more daddy sugar. Lovely, lovely, baby. We did it, say more with her. Mano, we did it. Nouvelle new dance, hey. C'est la nouvelle new dance, hey. Let me bend, show me we so we me tola, il faut bend, sexy girl, on va bend, hey. Lady bouge comme c'est là, on va we come on, baby, c'est moi daddy sugar. Lovely, lovely, baby. Tere, se moverá. Tere, mano, we tere. Mano, ven, tere. Mano, we tere.
métier dans l'air. T'as la couronne, on se connaît. Y'a trop de problèmes. Je connais tes ennuis, tes soucis, tes faiblesses, tes problèmes. Je connais des problèmes d'ici et là-bas et partout c'est les mêmes. Allez, ben terere, allez, oui terere. Allez, ben terere, allez, oui terere. Da, oui terere. Allez, oui terere. Ben terere. Hey, I'm sexy, oui terere.
Tere, mano oui tere, mano ben tere, mano oui tere, mano ben tere,
Drekete, sois malé, bizarre, drekete, rokoto, sois malé, bizarre, allez tripoter, tétiner, l'affaire, bizarre.
Come on, baby, c'est moi daddy sugar, lovely, baby, you get it, c'est mon willa. Come on, baby, c'est moi daddy sugar, lovely, baby, you get it, c'est mon willa. Mano, we did it. Mano, we did it.
Okay, hello everybody, we are back. Okay, we're gonna have a good time now because we are going to North Africa for our travel segment. Can anybody guess? Kimmy, can you guess what country in North Africa? You only get one guess. We're going to for the travel today.
Egypt.
No, why Egypt? What is it with Egypt? Everything's Egypt. Not everything's Egypt, okay? Baron, you get one guess without looking at the list. But you've seen the list already.
I saw it already.
Oh, you're no fun. Okay, guys. So we're summer's coming. Well, spring is here allegedly now, but we're moving slowly towards our summer, and everybody's making their plans right now. So of course, I'll be waving the flag for the African travel, industry, the tourism industry. So every week we're going to be talking about a different country in Africa and exploring it to see if we're going to add it to our plans for 2025 and beyond. So this week we are going to North Africa, and I think we've done Morocco on the show. We've even done Tunisia on the show, but we have not done this particular country, and that is Algeria. So I thought, why not? Why not? Whenever people think of North Africa for traveling, everybody's like Egypt, Morocco. Why? Why those two countries only? So I said, no, I'm going to add to the tourism of Algeria. Anyway, here are the top 15 places to visit in Algeria, courtesy of our friends, Travel Hive, the Travel Hive channel on YouTube. They put together this beautiful collection of places to go in Algeria. So let's explore. Here we go.
Welcome to the land of awe-inspiring beauty and profound history. Today I'm thrilled to be your guide through the top 15 must-visit places in Algeria, a country where every corner has a story to tell. So, let's embark on this journey together. Situated in North Africa, Algeria is a melting pot of cultures, with influences from the Berbers, Arabs, French, and more. Each place we visit today has its own unique allure. Let's explore the top spots that should be on every traveler's list. Number 1, Algiers Kasbah. As we navigate the narrow lanes of Algiers Kasbah, it's like walking through a living museum where every wall, every archway has a story. Here, community life buzzes amidst historical relics, with children playing near the Quechua Mosque, a symbol of Algeria's religious history, first a mosque, then a cathedral, and now a mosque again. The Kasbah's beauty lies in its resilience, echoing a past filled with pirates, Ottoman sultans, and freedom fighters. Number 2, Notre Dame d'Afrique. Overlooking the bay, Notre Dame d'Afrique is a basilica that whispers the complex history of Algeria, a history where pain and beauty coexist. As you stand beneath the basilica's dome, the intricate mosaics tell a story that transcends religion, speaking to the shared humanity of those who visit, regardless of their faith. Number 3, Timgad. Walking through the grid-like streets of Timgad, you are tracing the footsteps of ancient Romans. Each column, each stone of the library, the baths, the forum, and the triumphal arch speak of a time when this was a bustling metropolis. The Arch of Trajan, standing proudly at the city's entrance, was once a gateway to Africa for many Roman soldiers. Number 4, Gemala. Gemala's beauty is in its stunning preservation and the pastoral calm that surrounds it. This was once a place of commerce and community, its forum and temples vibrant with life. The Christian basilicas here are evidence of the religious evolution within the empire, while the intricate mosaics in the House of Bacchus illustrate the artistic sensibilities of the time. Number 5, Hagar Mountains. Away from the coastal green and into the deep Sahara, the Hagar Mountains are a rugged wonderland. The journey here is a pilgrimage into the soul of the desert, where volcanic peaks stand sentinel over a land that is as spiritual as it is geological. The Tuareg people, with their rich traditions and blue robes, are as much a part of this landscape as the ancient rock art that adorns it. Number 6, Mzab Valley. The Mzab Valley is like a scene from a fantasy novel, with its fortress-like architecture built to adapt to the harsh Saharan climate. Here, you'll witness a society that has flourished for centuries, founded on collective living and solidarity, with each community structured around a mosque, signifying the central role of religion in the Mozabites' way of life. Number 7, Tapaza. At Tapaza, the ruins stand as a testament to cultural synthesis, with Phoenician, Roman, early Christian, and Byzantine layers all visible in the city's complex archaeology. Looking out to the sea, one can imagine the ancient inhabitants gazing upon the same horizon, their lives and ours linked by the timeless human endeavor of seeking meaning beyond the material. Number 8, Constantine. Often called the City of Suspended Bridges, Constantine is a marvel of nature and engineering. Gazing down its vertiginous ravines or across its iconic bridges, one can't help but marvel at the audacity of building a city here. It's a place where every view is dramatic, every street is a journey over a deep gorge, and every sunset is a theatrical performance. Number 9, in Tassili-Enager National Park. In Tassili-Enager, you are among the Earth's oldest history books. Each rock painting and engraving is a page from a prehistoric era, depicting a life that ranged from lush savanna to encroaching desert, providing invaluable insight into the adaptability of human life in the face of climatic upheavals. Number 10, Oran. Oran is a cultural jewel, pulsating with life. Its history is recounted through music, such as Rai, a form of folk music that began here. Wandering through its streets, you'll feel the rhythm of a city that has always embraced diversity, from the architecture of the Spanish Quarter to the Great Synagogue, now a library, standing as monuments to its multicultural fabric. Number 11, Cree National Park. In Cree National Park, you'll find a world away from the stereotypical sands of Algeria. Number 12, Gardia. The pentagonal city of Gardia is an architectural marvel designed for communal living. Its unique system of collective labor, land ownership, and social welfare is a living study of sustainability and social organization. The valley's marketplaces, called souks, are vibrant with life, where the exchange of goods becomes an exchange of cultures. Number 13, Annaba. Annaba is not just a city, it's an atmosphere. Here, the lushness of the green Tunisia meets the charm of urban life. Hippo Regius, the ancient site just south of the city, was once a major center of Roman Africa and is closely linked to the legacy of St. Augustine, offering layers of history amidst the thriving modernity of Annaba's streets. Number 14, Beni Hammad Fort. The grandeur of Beni Hammad Fort may be faded, but its aura of power and learning endures. The quiet that now pervades was once filled with the bustling noise of scholars, poets, and politicians. The minaret, with its intricate facade, remains a sentinel, watching over the remnants of what was once the first capital of the Hammadid dynasty. Number 15, El Oud. Known as the City of 1,000 Domes due to its distinctive architecture, Loued is a labyrinth of alleyways and markets under the shadow of domed rooftops. These structures, designed to cool interiors naturally, are just one of the ingenious adaptations of Loued's inhabitants to one of the most challenging climates on Earth. From the whispering sands of the Sahara to the whispering waves of the Mediterranean, Algeria is a traveler's odyssey, a land of beauty and depth that waits to be explored. I hope this journey has inspired you to delve deeper into the mysteries and wonders of Algeria.
Well, thank you so much to our friends at Travel Hive. That was a gorgeous. Baron, did you learn anything new about Algeria?
A little.
Kimi, did anything strike you as strike your fancy?
Not quite.
I think it's very modern. Like, you think Algeria is like, it's going to be like just souks, but it's all things mixed up. The beaches, the sea, the desert, you know, the cities themselves are quite modern, and they have a lot of history attached to them. So it's pretty niche. It's a very unique country, actually. I think I would like to go there. Maybe I will.
Maybe.
Okay.
Is that going to be like a boat cruise thing? Because it's not close to the shores, is it?
Yeah, it's the Mediterranean Sea. I don't know if they stop at Algeria on one of those Mediterranean cruises, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice place. It seems like a nice place to go. Right. If that has inspired you, let us know. You know the number to call, 0141 530 2787. Otherwise, just leave a comment on the Facebook page or the YouTube page and we'll read out live. Right. It is now time for Sparring with the Boys, or Sparring with the Boy and Girl. In this case, remember last week I said we both agreed on the topic. Kind of agree. Our opinions were almost the same. Baron, do you remember that?
Yeah.
So this week I've tried to say, let's see where you stand on this, and Kimi, you as well. Let's see what your opinions are this. Are you guys ready for the topic?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you think about absentee dads getting your respect or your support later in life? I'm going to use Ashake as an example, okay? So last week or the week before, Ashake's dad, Ashake, if anybody doesn't know, which if you don't know, where have you been, is a mega superstar, Nigerian superstar, music superstar. And he's made it really big, but he's never hidden the fact that he came from very humble beginnings, and his mother was there to support him all his life, and he loves his mom and his supports and all of that. Now he's found international fame, and he's doing really well in life financially from all accounts. However, his father came out last week or the week before to say he's sick. He's sick. He's going through it financially. He needs help. And people, and his father came out. His father didn't address him personally, but his father came out to say, and the papers carried it, the blogs carried it. All of that happened, and then people, were divided on the fact. So apparently it came out that his father did not support him during his childhood. His father abandoned him, and he was an absentee dad who never supported him in any way. And now that he's made it big, his father is there to asking for help. And people were of the mind. So half the people were saying, he was absent. He was being an absent father is the worst thing you can be, and all of that. And then there was a curious, school of thought saying, your father is your father. No matter what, you have to honor him. So where do you stand on this? I know where I stand on this. Where do you stand on this? Ryan, I'd like to hear from you. Kimi, I'd like to hear from you. The question is, what we're sparring about here, the topic is, if your parent, okay, in this case father, okay, mother or father, not that they couldn't be there for you, or they had to go away, or something happened and they had to leave, but they literally either never accepted you, or walked away from the family, abandoned you, or never even claimed you in the first place, okay? Never took care of you, and you've gone on rather than die or have a very terrible life, or you've gone on to be successful, in some way. If they come back later in life, do you have an obligation to honor them regardless because they're your parent? Or can you say, listen, you weren't there for me, you abandoned me, therefore I have no obligation to support you in any way? What do you think?
Well, your father is still your father. it's not like a one size fits all thing. It's like it depends on the scenario. And again, also you could just do things for him out of the goodness of your heart. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but just out of the goodness of your heart. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kimi, what do you think?
I think it's just a judge of your own character. Like, I mean, the man is sick. You just can't. Yeah. But your father is still your father. But I feel like it's also karma in a way. Like, honestly, that's the thing you said about being like a deadbeat dad. It's like the worst thing you can do. Honestly.
All right, you guys are better than me. Because I'll take the money, put it in the bag, and set it on fire. Before I support you. Excuse me?
No way.
Do you know what? Because I am the child of a father who loved, supported, and adored me, and I know what it is to have that kind of father, that's even worse, I cannot condone you not being there and you having the audacity to even ask. Even asking is audacity, talk less of expecting. How can you not take care of your child? What if the child, by you abandoning the child, had gone down, had not had the mother there to support them, and by God's grace been successful? What if they had gone down the wrong path, become a criminal, which is more likely to happen, by the way. If your parents are not there to support you, you're more likely to go down the wrong path than the right one, because, through luck, through blessings, somehow he got, this talent, he got support, and he got the right opportunities to build his talent, right? What if he had gone down the, thug route, criminal route, or just been useless to society? Will his father be there claiming him, calling his name? No, he wouldn't. I can tell you he wouldn't. Yeah. So why are we in African culture? I mean, I love the fact that we honor our elders. I do. I love that part of African culture. We honor our elders and all of that. But the entitlement should not be there. You don't get to claim and expect he's your child, therefore he must take care of you now that he's successful, when you weren't there for him his entire life. That your father is your father. Somebody else could be your father. In Calabari land, we have two parents. You have the parent that gave birth to you, and you have the parent that took care of you. Sometimes they're the same person. Sometimes they're two completely different people. You could be that's my mother. Okay, this is my mother and this is my mother that raised me, that took care of me. They can be two different people. So your parent is your parent thing. I don't always, if you don't have a relationship with that person and the person didn't take care of you and actively sought to cause your demise, basically, then why do you have to honor them? Am I changing minds here?
No.
No?
Not changing minds.
Kimi, what about you? Have I changed your mind?
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes. I'm also a very, very petty person. No, that's not true. That's not true. What I do know is I have seen over the years, in my experience in my years on earth, I've seen parents who have done nothing for their children who claim them later when they become successful, but I know for a fact would not have claimed them if they hadn't become successful. And I think that's super wrong. And so our society fosters it because your father, it's your father. No. If it had been, how people talk down on single mothers. Well, single mothers are the parents that stayed. There's a parent that stayed and actually took care of the child. And yet we look down on single mothers for the most part in our society. And yet absentee fathers, we go, oh, he's your dad anyway. Why do we do that? It's not fair. It's not fair. The person that actually stayed and took care of the child and suffered with the child, and then the other one who just trips in and out, if that, or was completely gone, didn't contribute in any way, and then suddenly the child is successful through somebody else's efforts, and then we want to say it's your father. I mean, Kimi, you said do it for the goodness of your heart, right?
Yeah.
Am I changing minds, Farron?
No.
Damn. Sorry, can I say that on radio? Oh, John, you are a good person, I guess.
No.
What is your reasoning? Tell me your reasoning. What's your reasoning? Do you think it's like blessed if you be blessed if you're blessed or something like that? Or do you think there really, really is an obligation?
Well, there's it's not an obligation. You just tell the kind of person you are. If you can, not really hold on to whatever someone did to you, Yeah.
But that's what makes life interesting, when you hold on to what someone did to you and use it to spur yourself on to success, so you can look back at them and go, see? What is life anyway?
No way.
Why you keep going on forgiving? All this forgiveness, go on forgiving people for what?
You just let it go.
Well, let all go. No, I'm holding on.
it.
I love to hold on to grudges. It's my favorite thing. Anyway, we're not really having a lot. It's just a serious issues, and it can cause a lot of pain. There's a lot of trauma attached to abandonment. So you're still trying to deal with that, and then the person now comes and tries to be entitled. That can be very, very painful and triggering as well for people. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Go through channels.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard my son. Then go through the uncle who was there for him, and please help me ask him. Not coming out and saying, "Oh, you're successful now, therefore you must take care of me." Why?
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
The annoying bit is
The entitlement.
Entitled, yeah.
Yes, and that's that's it. Okay, so we found a topic we do not agree on. Fabulous. I'll keep doing more of these. All right, we've come to the end of part 1. We're going to come back in part 2. We're going to have the news update, and we're going to have our African spotlight. But in the meantime, Baron has a song for us.
Yeah, next song is DJ Spinal and it's a Fireboy. Yeah.
Okay, Fireboy and DJ Spinal, and the song is called
Sire.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Sherry.
Top boy. DJ Spinall. Fireboy.
I know if you fight kung fu, but I go fight for you. I got my eyes on you. You got vibes on you. I know if you die for you,
Ladies,
but I'll live my life for you. I got my eyes on you. You got vibes on you. Jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. Yeah. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me slow wine in a fast car. I get money like bastard. You know, if you reach my last card, I want to know your cash app. Oh, you want to make me do she know? Jesus, your body's a phenomenon.
1, 2, 3,
I go down as I'm breaking it for you. Anytime you know I go there for you. And you know I'm writing a song for you. And you know I do another one for you. Jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Oh, jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré. Yeah. We could go on a vacation, have fun maybe all night long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Welcome back to BBC African News Magazine Show on Jambo Radio. We are cruising very gently into part 2 of the show. But before we start, have our African spotlight. Here is Kimmy with a live news update.
This is the latest news across Scotland. This is Jambo Radio. A third teenager has been arrested for their connection with the murder of Amin Tekle. Nearly 3 weeks ago, Amin Tekle was 15 years old when he was found seriously injured on Clarendon Street in Maryhill. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and since then, a 16-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy have been arrested and charged with murder and assault. Police Scotland have now taken in another teenage boy at 15 years old into custody to face an assault charge. In Glasgow, Cowcaddens Road is forced to close after the discovery of a sinkhole. The road was already reduced into 2 lanes because of ongoing work, until the road workers found the sinkhole, which led to a full closure of the road. Scottish Water has been helping out on the scene by inducing emergency repairs and encouraging everyone to use public transport or find an alternative route. Now for the latest African news. Last Friday, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah had her inauguration as Namibia's first female president and vows to tackle unemployment, inequality and poverty. She is also the second ever directly elected female president in Africa, and she speaks about how heavy that burden is to hold. If things go well, then it will be seen as a good example. But if anything then happens, like it can happen in any administration under men, there's also those who would rather say, look at women. She's hopeful that she can be judged by her good actions across the country and states that it is a good thing that we as countries are realizing that just as men can do, women can also hold the position of authority. And that's the latest from Jambo Newsroom. I am Kimi Kingori.
All right, thank you so much, Kimmy, for the news update. We'll be looking forward to hearing more from you in the future. All right, now it's time for this week's African Spotlight. This is a very special and different one, Baron. Do you know why? No. It's actually based on an article, and I'm going to read the article in its entirety, and when I do, you'll understand why. So every week we focus on a good news story or interesting story from the diaspora or from the continent on someone doing amazing things in the community. However, this week we're shining our spotlight on London journalist Mark Wilberforce on the positive effects of being sent to Ghana in his youth. At 16, Mark Wilberforce was sent to Ghana for the summer holidays, but not 1 month. Well, 1 month in, his mom said he was not coming back to the UK until he changed his ways. He'd been expelled from school and was heading down a dangerous path. So what we're going to do, we're going to hear from Mark about his experience in his own words. And this is coming on the back. Do you remember of the story we did a couple of weeks ago on the teenager who sued his parents for taking him to Ghana?
Yeah.
And, you know, so he heard that story and he decided to tell his own story on how he was tricked into going to Ghana, but what the outcome was for him. So shall we hear from him? Okay. Everybody ready?
Yep.
So this is Mark in his own words, okay?
Yeah.
All right. When my mother told me at the age of 16 that we're going to the UK, from the UK to Ghana for the summer holidays, I had no reason to doubt her. It was just a quick trip, a temporary break, nothing to worry about, or so I thought. However, 1 month in, she dropped the bombshell. I was not coming back to London until I had reformed and had earned enough GCSEs to continue my education. I was hoodwinked in a similar way to the British Ghanaian teenager who recently took his parents to the High Court in London for sending him to school in Ghana. In their defense, they told the judge they did not want to see their 14-year-old son become yet another black teenager stabbed to death in the streets of London, quote unquote. Back in the mid-90s, my mother, a primary school teacher, was motivated by similar concerns. I had been expelled from 2 high schools in the London borough of Brent, hanging out with the wrong crowd, becoming the wrong crowd, and then heading down a dangerous path. My closest friends at the time ended up in prison for armed robbery. Had I stayed in London, I would almost certainly have been convicted with them. But being sent to Ghana also felt like a prison sentence. I can empathize to a degree with the teenager who said in his court statement that he feels like he's living in hell, quote unquote. Yet, speaking for myself, by the time I turned 21, I realized that what my mother had done had been a blessing. Unlike the boy at the center of the London court case, which he lost, I did not go to boarding school in Ghana. My mother placed me in the care of her 2 closest brothers. They wanted to keep an eye on me, and it felt like being around borders could prove too much of a distraction. I first stayed with my uncle Fifi, a former UN environmentalist, in a town called Dansaman near the capital Accra. The lifestyle change hit hard. In London, I had my own bedroom, access to washing machines, and a sense of independence, even if I was using it recklessly. In Ghana, I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to sweep the courtyard and wash my uncle's often muddy pickup truck and my aunt's car. It was her vehicle I would later steal I did not even know how to drive properly, treating a manual like an automatic, and I crashed it into a high-ranking soldier's Mercedes. Ooh. I tried to flee the scene, but that soldier caught me and threatened to take me to Burma camp, the notorious military base where people had disappeared in the past. This was the last truly reckless thing I did. It was not just discipline I learned in Ghana, it was perspective. Life in Ghana showed me how much I had taken for granted. Washing clothes by hand and preparing meals with my aunt made me appreciate the effort needed. Food, like everything in Ghana, required patience. There were no microwaves, no fast food runs. At the time, it felt like punishment, but looking back, it was building resilience. Initially, my uncles considered placing me in high-end schools like the Ghana International School or the SOS Herman Gurmey International College, but they were smart. They knew I might just form a new crew to cause chaos and mischief. Instead, I received private tuition at Accra Academy, a state secondary school that my late father had attended. It meant I was often taught on my own or in small groups. Lessons were in English, but out of school, those around me were often speaking local languages, and I found it easy to pick them up, perhaps because it was such an immersive experience. Back in London, I used to love to learn swear words in my mother's Fanti language, but was far from fluent. Until I moved to the city of Tema to stay with my favorite Uncle Jojo. When I later moved to the city of Tema to stay with my favorite Uncle Jojo, an agricultural expert, I continued private school at Tema Secondary School. In contrast to the boy making the headlines in the UK who claimed Ghana's education was not up to standard, I found it to be exacting. I was considered academically gifted in the UK, despite my troublesome ways, but actually found it tough going in Ghana. Students my age were far ahead of me in subjects like maths and science, and the rigor of the Ghanaian system pushed me to study harder than I ever had in London. The result? I earned 5 GCSEs with C grades and above, something that once seemed impossible. Beyond academic achievements, Ghanaian society instilled values that have stayed with me for life. Respect for elders was non-negotiable. Throughout the neighborhoods I lived in, you greeted those older than you, regardless of whether you knew them or not. Ghana did not just make me more disciplined and respectful, it made me fearless. And football played a huge role in that transformation. I played in the parks, which were often red hard clay with loose pebbles and stones with two square goalposts fashioned out of wood and string. It was a far cry from the neatly maintained pitches in England, but it toughened me up in ways I could not have imagined, and it's no wonder that some of the greatest footballers in the English Premier League have come from West Africa. Every Sunday, I played football at the beach, though I would often be late because there was absolutely no way either of my uncles would allow me to stay home instead of attending church. The first 18 months were the hardest. I resented the restrictions, the chores, the discipline. I even tried stealing my passport to fly back to London, but my mother was ahead of me and had hidden it well. There was no escape. My only choice was to adapt. And somewhere along the line, I stopped seeing Ghana as a prison and started seeing it as a happy home. My Ghana experience matured me and changed me for the better by helping me to identify with who I am as a Ghanaian and cemented my understanding of my culture, my background, and my family history. By my 3rd year, I had fallen in love with the culture and even stayed on for an additional 2 years after passing my GCSEs. I developed a deep appreciation for the local food. Back in London, I never thought twice about what I was eating, but in Ghana, food was not just sustenance. Each dish had its own story. I enjoyed the music, the warmth, the people, the sense of community. I was not just stuck in Ghana anymore. I was thriving. My mother, Patience Wilberforce, passed away recently, and with her loss, I have reflected deeply on the decision she made all those years ago. She saved me. Had she not tricked me into staying in Ghana, the chances of me having a criminal record or even serving time in prison would have been extremely high. I went on to enroll at the College of Northwest London, aged 20, to study media production before joining the BBC in a mentoring scheme. The guys I used to hang out with in Northwest London did not get the second chance I did. Ghana reshaped my mindset, my values, and my future. It turned a misguided menace into a responsible man. And while such an experience might not work for everyone, it gave me the education, discipline, and respect I needed to reintegrate society when I returned to England. And for that, I'm forever indebted to my uncles, my mother, and to the country that saved me. You see why I had to read it all?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you guys think? I know what I think. What do you guys think? So last time we talked about this, I think, Kimmy, you came up, you were still like, oh no, don't send me back to Kenya. And Baron, you were like, it works. It helps instill discipline. But the boy was not happy with the situation. But I like the fact that he came out with a counter argument to that, because the boy was saying the Ghanaian education system is not testing to him, and he's becoming dumber and all that. You remember all that? And he's like, nope, it was very rigorous. You had exams, you had a lot of like training, was very rigorous, and he had to really, you know, study hard, and everything else that he said in this article. So what do you think about this situation?
So this someone else that made the best of his situation, even though he messed up a bit at the start.
Not a bit. He had been expelled from 2 schools. His friends who he's hanging with all went to prison. So he was going down the road. He said something about hanging with the wrong crowd and then becoming the wrong crowd. So he was on his way, just like the other boy.
Yeah. And again, got sent to Ghana, and he made the best of the situation. So at the end, he didn't see it as a labor camp or prison like others would. Yeah, so it's always a good thing to do, especially when you have trusted relatives back home. It's good to, you know, if someone is moving sideways here,
exactly,
there's always an option.
It's the same thing as if someone in Nigeria, for example, if you have the means, right, in Africa, if, you know, your child is like, maybe has some talent and things that are not being developed, or, you know, and you can send them abroad, then you would do it, right? Both ways. If you have trusted relatives abroad you can send them to, you'll do it. So why not, if your child is going down the wrong path here, send them back here to be, you know, recalibrated? Kim, what do you think? What do you think about the article, first of all, the fact that he came out to talk about his experience, and do you think it's a good way to counter the argument the other young man was given?
Yeah, I think he was definitely saved. But also, like, the subject in general, I've genuinely changed my mind. Like, I think it's like a good thing overall. Like, I started thinking, I wish I went to school in Kenya now. Like, he started saying about how he felt more comfortable in his Ghanaian identity.
Yes.
And like, I think that definitely helps.
'Cause I think a lot of young people here struggle with that, don't they? And the parents were born in their home country, so they have a very strong sense of identity and self of who they are. The kids were either born here or came here quite young. So as they start to grow, you know, if the parents are not strong enough to instill that in them, then they start to doubt, you know, who am I? But if you go to your country of origin, or your parents for a while, at least some time, it doesn't have to be your whole life, 5 years, take just some time to be there, get immersed in it, and connect what your parents are talking about with the real thing. I think that could be very, very valuable. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
I think it can be very valuable. You don't have to like say, I'm sending you there to punish you. I mean, just for a period of time in that child's life, go there, live there, be among the people, hear the language and all of that. He was in the article, I didn't read that part of the article, but he did say he'd met people in his life who had the same experience as him, people of his age range who had been taken to Ghana, and it worked out for most of them. One of the people he talked about, he says he didn't have a great time at first. He didn't know the language. He felt isolated. He couldn't speak at all. He felt like he was being pointed. His accent made him stick out and all of that. But eventually, he eventually worked for him. But he did have, even when he came back years later, he still had some feelings of, you know, unease around the whole experience. But he knows that the good outweighed the bad, because he learned a lot. He learned about his culture. He did pick up the language eventually, and he felt connected to, you know, his parents' homeland. So yes, but he did struggle a bit more than Wilberforce, who's writing this article. So everybody will have varying degrees in their experiences, you know. But I think all in all, I don't think it's a bad thing to do.
Nice. And again, I think the image of Africa also has might also be a big influence in
So to actually experience it is a different thing, you know.
Like, it's like when I got shipped to Ukraine at 19, I wasn't like, I wasn't worried about anything. I wasn't worried about racism, nothing. I was just excited. So that in the same way, someone that is here, that is getting moved, like shipped to Nigeria, Kenya, she also be excited to go live.
Yeah, it's something different.
You
yeah,
can go there on holiday for 3 weeks. Why not just go live there for
Yeah. I like the fact that he had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and sweep the compound and wash the uncle's car. I was like, yes. And he had to make food by hand and all that stuff. Yeah, and learn.
We all did that.
It builds character. It builds character, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy he wrote this article. I really am. I'm happy I got to share it with the audience. Okay, question for the day. Only one question today. Okay. As an African parent, if you sent your child back home, would it be for discipline or to give them a sense of culture or to save them from possible social danger here in the UK? It's a 3-part question. So once again, as an African parent, if you sent your child back home, would it be for discipline or to give them a sense of culture or to save them from possible social danger here in the UK? If you want to answer those questions, don't hesitate to dial the number on your screen just now, 0141-530-2787, or call in and we'll listen to call in, of course, or leave a comment on the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, and we will be there to read out your comment. In the meantime, while we wait for your calls, here is Baron's Choice.
Baron's Choice, I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. I got it.
All right, what do you got?
Yeah.
Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula? The formula. Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula? The
That was Adobe by John Jazzy and the crew at, was it Mo Hits record at the time? Yeah, look at me remembering stuff. All right, guys, it's now time for our Have You Heard segment. And every week we share an interesting development story or event from the diaspora. And today we're asking, have you heard that Kigali is becoming the Silicon Valley of Africa? Have you heard that?
No.
Have you heard that, Kimi?
No.
Oh, then let's talk about it, right? Let's hear about it. So Rwanda is building Africa's very own Silicon Valley, known as Kigali Innovation City, KIC. A multi-billion-dollar project inspired by America's Silicon Valley for the production and development of technological advancement is being built in Rwanda's capital city, Kigali. This is an innovative effort, the first of its kind on the continent. The aim is to build a critical mass of talent, research, and innovative ideas that will transform the continent. The government of Rwanda plans to attract both domestic and foreign universities, technology companies, biotech firms, agriculture, healthcare, and financial services, infrastructure, including commercial and retail real estate. According to Paula Ingabire, Rwanda's Minister of ICT, the KIC project has set itself the objectives of creating more than 50,000 jobs, generating 150 million in ICT experts per year, and attracting more than 300 million in foreign direct investment. Okay, the project started in 2018 and is set to cost $2 billion. Rwanda is committed to becoming the gateway to a technologically developed Africa, and realizing this by its consistent development strategy that is a sight to behold. Rwanda is one of the world's fastest growing economies and leads the African continent in the technological advancement and infrastructural development. Okay. Rwanda is consciously positioning itself for the fourth industrial revolution and generally giving the future generations tools to succeed in an era of exponential technologies. In the 21 years since the 1994 genocide, Rwanda has come a long way. Despite a near total lack of natural resources, the country continues to rise, making it one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And one key to this turnaround is technology. It seems that President Paul Kagame, known as the digital president, quote unquote, is positioning the country for an extraordinary leapfrog into the fourth industrial revolution. We want technology to sort of permeate all the professions, all the jobs, says Jean-Philippe, Rwanda's Minister of Youth and Information Technology. And hopefully the rest of the continent is watching and learning from Rwanda, a purposeful government and leadership abreast with what's trending, positioning itself to be a reference point for economic advancement and innovation through cutting-edge technology. Okay, so they're pumping all this money. They're going to get foreign investment. They're going to build an innovation city. And how are they funding it? Should we go there or should we not go there?
Yeah.
Let's just say we all know what's going on in the Congo right now, right? I've not talked about the Congo, what's going on in the Congo right now, because this is once again a positive show, and any road we take to that subject cannot be in any way said to be positive. I've tried to link it to my positivity mantra, but it's not working. But suffice to say, a lot of the resources that are funding projects in Rwanda are coming from a certain place, and that place is under siege. Are we all agreed on that? Okay. But if we remove that, let's divorce that from what we're talking about right now. On its own, on its surface, it's a great project that they're doing, is it not? It's a great thing.
Yes, it's a great project, but I hope we get a bit of transparency.
Oh my, it's as transparent as we want it to be, but we're just ignoring it because it's not the kind of news that the world wants to pay attention to. We want to pay attention to Ukraine and to Gaza and places like that. They are more in the limelight, so to speak. And Kimi, what do you think? Let's divorce it from what's happening, the war in the Congo. What do you think on the project on its own? What do you think about it? The fact that they're having a dedicated innovation city, creating 50,000 jobs and pumping the money in it to produce what they need to produce. What do you think about the intentionality of that?
I mean, I don't know what to say really.
Nobody's happy for it.
Yay, Rwanda,
yay. All right. Okay. All right, good for them. Okay, we can say that, right? Yeah. Okay, good for them. Let's move on. Right, it's almost time for that time of the show that we love so much. Should I have a song before we do it? A short song before we do it?
Yes, one song.
Let's do it. Okay, here's one song. It's called One Song.
One song by Flavor.
See you in 2 minutes, guys.
Anywhere you go, if you don't see woman, no one negi bocha.
Bocha poso neba fulelele, la chaposo neba futileti. Obodo silike nandi bogabane, abanye bafu epulike wekota. Ugochukune la nyenya waka iji agano. Iyoko.
Oh mama tetema, tipo tetema, oh mama tetema, aya twende tetema, oh mama tetema, shuka chini tetema, oh mama tetema. Tetema, yani kama umepigwa shoti. Tetema, ipe miganisho ya roboti. Tetema, ukutani hadi kwenye kochi. Tetema, kwenye giza mama shika tochi. Kataka kama noga, oh mama, nakapandizi za Bukoba, oh mama, nakapandisha boda boda, oh mama, nakichoka kuchuma mboga, oh mama. Ai mama shigidi, nakufa hoi wikidi,
Ay, mama, shigidi, funky, fire, moto, liquid. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Tipo tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Shuka chini tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Tipo tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Shuka chini tetema, oh mama tetema.
Tetema, yani kama vile generator. Tetema, kama mwizi kakupiga ngeta. Tetema, mwendo wa kutunga kupepeta. Tetema, chini nikipuliza tarumbeta. Asawoza, roza, keza shogoroza. Kufa chali kama mende. Maria Rose, pose, tungi limepoza. Twende nikupige nyembe. Okay. You make my mind go kolo, kolo, kolo. Ukinuna tumie toro, toro, toro. Sani pesa digi digi. Miuno ya kiki kiki. Funga kipinda mkwiji kwiji. Nikunyonge kazigi zigi. Tete,
oh mama tetema. Tipo tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Shuka chini tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema, oh mama tetema. Tipo tetema, oh mama tetema. Ayatende tetema.
All right, we are back. So we have a new. We're not going to do the history segment today. We have a new segment called "What Does Kimi Know?" So Kimi, I'm going to ask you 5 African capitals. Super easy. 5. So I'll tell you the country, tell me the capital. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm scared already.
Why are you scared? You should know. I'll give you the easy ones, and then I'll throw in maybe one so-called difficult one. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So what's the capital of Kenya?
Nairobi.
Fabulous. Okay, and then what's the capital of Algeria, which you just did today? Are you googling it? It's Algiers. Okay, so what's the capital of Nigeria?
I know that, but it just went out my head. Believe me, it just went out my head.
If I give you the first two syllables.
I got nervous.
I love putting you on the spot like this. It's Abuja. You thought it was Lagos, didn't you?
No.
It's Abuja. All right. Number 4, something near you in East Africa. Okay, what's the capital of Tanzania?
Where's my effects?
It's Dodoma. Wow. Okay, a very super duper easy one. We just did this country. Okay, what's the capital of Rwanda?
We just did this. Hey.
Rwanda. We just did the story 5 minutes ago. All right. Are you googling it? Are you guys googling? All right. So the thing is, safe to say, Kimi's gonna go home and she's gonna do some research on African capital, because the next week you're gonna like this and that, correct?
Yeah.
All right, fabulous. So that's gonna be that's the end of our new segment. What does Kimi know? All right, Baron, your turn. Okay. You wanna do capitals as well?
Let's try.
Don't be scared.
All
right, Angola.
Malabo.
No. And that was so confident, loud and wrong.
Angola.
It's Luanda. Okay. All right, Burkina Faso. You learnt this one in school, I'm sure of it.
Forgotten.
Ouagadougou.
Yeah, I wouldn't get it.
All right, it's a super easy one now. Morocco.
I've forgotten.
Rabat.
Right.
Okay, Senegal.
Dakar.
Yes. Hallelujah. And Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Nothing is
Freetown.
Okay.
I was thinking
there's no free lunch.
Sierra Leone and Liberia, so it's like
Liberia is, I think, is Libreville.
Yeah.
Okay, so safe to say both Baron and Kimmy are going to go do some research and come back next week and they're going to be like, yes. But Baron, I think you did a slightly better than Kimmy did. All right, guys, that was our Baron is better than Kimmy section of the show.
Next time.
Oh God. Okay, so now we're going to do our proverbs for the day. Okay. Why do we do proverbs? Why do we do African proverbs? Every society or community around the world has the tradition of proverbs, but in Africa it's especially important because we use proverbs for everything: to pass on information, to teach new generation, to just make our sentences much more punch, and to express ourselves. So, and we handed them down from generation to generation. So now we have 2 African proverbs, one from Kenya and one from Nigeria. The first one is, I pointed out to you the stars and all you saw was the tip of my finger. I pointed the stars out to you, but all you saw was the tip of my finger. What do you guys think that means?
Basically, like short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
Not looking at the big picture.
Yeah.
Kimmy, you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The second is, a deaf ear is followed by death, and an ear that listens is followed by blessings. A deaf ear is followed by death, and an ear that listens is followed by blessings. The answer doesn't always get it right.
Yeah, so whoever came up with this one was probably drinking at the time.
Yeah. I mean, we get it, but okay. All right. So those were our proverbs for the week. If you found them profound, fantastic. If you found them glib, fantastic as well. You know, they don't always land, but I think I like the first one. I pointed out the stars to you, and all you saw was the tip of my finger. All right, and that is our show for the week. Baron, you want to do the language quiz, or are you good?
Let's try.
All right. Kimmy, you give us a sentence. Kimmy, are you ready to speak Swahili on air? Ooh.
Can I first apologize to all my family members?
Make a very simple sentence. Super simple sentence. Like, what do you think the sentence should be?
Or anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. Very simple.
I know haraka.
What does that mean?
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hurry up. Haraka.
Yeah, hurry up. Get out the house.
All right.
For church, you know.
I know yours, Var. Is some of them?
Yes.
So I took your language from you.
What's in Yoruba?
In Yoruba, titi.
Titi.
Titi law, titi bo. It doesn't go, come, titi.
Okay.
And in Calvary, it is. It's escaping me right now. Hurry up. Oh my god. Circle back to me. All right. Baron, you have another sentence for us?
Okay, so this one's a bit long.
No. First of all, starting in English. So you can start thinking.
In English, he who plays with the dog gets his clothes ripped.
He who plays with the dog.
Yeah.
If you play with the dog, you get your clothes ripped.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you say that in Ibibio?
Abrembre wake wasi warafon.
Abrembe wa se wa ki wa fon.
Abrembre ewa.
Abrembrewa.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Abrembrewa.
Abrembrewa.
Siwarafon.
Siwafon.
Kewa siwarafon. Ewa is the dog.
Kewa siwafon.
Asiwarafon.
Asiwagafon.
Yeah.
Abrembe kewa.
Abrembrewa.
Abrembrewa kewa. Asiwarafon.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Kimmy, can you try that in Swahili? Haraki. Haraka. No.
So it's basically wrong association corrupts morals.
Yeah. In Yoruba, it won't be in just Europe. It'll be in like in proverb form. It'll be in a proverb form. It won't be in just plain. If you no, it won't be that. It will be like, if you do this and this, it'll be deeper than that. So I'll look into that and I'll come back with it next week because we're out of time, and I'm not running away. We're just out of time. Hey. All right, guys. I hope you had a great trip. We had a wonderful time today with Kimmy and Baron. We've had our African Spotlight, our Have You Heard segment. We've talked about, developments on the continent and here in Scotland, and we had the live news feed as well. Thank you, Kimmy, for that. Looking forward to hearing more from you in the coming weeks. And with that, our show is over. So Baron has a song and play out song choice, and we'll be back next week with more interesting interviews, history, spotlights, news, and everything in between. Until then, stay proudly African. And to sign out, this is BB, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Michelle, baby, last night with the big. She said she had a man, but she still gave me that number. Be like she know, say I demand weakness for the biggie, for the biggie, yeah.
So what about the vibe? Is she just nice? Tell me what she like. She got a man. She think twice. Is the face fine?
Said her face fine, yeah, she fine, of course. She did talk much and I'm quiet, of course. Perfect come be you. She did do me things and I can't deny.
Perfect come be you. Slim. My face perfect come be you. She did one. She don't look at anybody. Face perfect come be you. Slim. My face perfect come be you. She did my way. She don't look at anybody. Face perfect come be you.
Me bow kume mu ko. Anything you did want. Now baby I'm a top mama vo.
Girl, I'm looking at your front door. Tryna give you everything I'm more. If there's anything you need, just call.
Girl, this what you got go sweet, oh. Make a man want this time for real, oh. Make a know what's up, what's the deal, oh. All you want, what's up?
So what about the vibe?